Hello everybody, Steven here with Cardboard Coalition, and today I figured I'd bring you a review of Fall of the Mountain King. I got my notes here so we can kind of get through this. Thought my mic fell off, but it didn't. Got my notes here, so let's go ahead and jump through this. So, the publisher is Burnt Island Games. It's for ages 14 plus, 1 to 5 players, and it takes 30 minutes per player. And that would be, remember, if you already know how to play. One of the things that I fall into all the time is trying to play a game, set up in a time limit, doing it for the first time. Doesn't always work. But they say it's 30 minutes once, I would argue, once everybody knows how to play. All right, let's get into it. Let's see if we can put this right here and I can just glance at it. What is the theme of the game? Well, sorry, my mic's jumping all over the place. The theme of the game is you're a bunch of little trolls, right? And this is the Kickstarter edition. I have to say that right now. This is the Kickstarter edition. But you're a bunch of little trolls, and you're trying to save your mountain or defend your mountain from, this is what makes me laugh all the time, I can't get them to set with my fat fingers, from the evil, nasty gnomes, right? The gnomes are trying to take the tower from you. You're trying to say no by defending it. But you're also trying to be sorry, my dog wants to run around too. You're also trying to be the most favored of all the trolls, right? So you're trying to not only defend from the gnomes, but be in a whole bunch of the different clan areas to gain influence. So it's really you're trying to protect the mountain and what legacy is left over. This is the second game. The first one I believe is called Return to the Mountain. Fall of the Mountain King, Return of the Mountain King. No, it's something like that. And in that one, you're trying to go back into the mountain. This one, you don't need to play the first one to play this one. But this one is the story of the trolls trying to defend it, or the game of the trolls trying to defend the mountain. All right. Now, as I already was kind of explaining, the mechanism is majority, or mostly area control, area majority. You want to have the most of your men in any area. You don't fight the other trolls, but if you have more trolls in one area than the other, you win over the influence of that clan of trolls from that area of the mountain. So area control, area majority. Now, ease of teaching, ease of play. You can tell, I think I've almost got it all set up in the picture. If you want to know how to play, you can watch the how to play. It takes a bit to get through because there is a lot to go through in this game. But this is a beast of a game. There's a lot going out there. And as I normally say, it seems a little intimidating. But in actuality, it's not so bad once you understand how the game works, which might take players playing through it once or twice. All right, over here we would have where each player is set up, and it is actually smashed in a little bit here because you have, the starting hammer. Remember, this is the Kickstarter version. You have your starting ancestry card, and you build off it with other ancestry cards. So this area is going to get kind of big. I have it kind of smashed together to try to get everything in shot so we can talk. Now, learning how to play, I felt like it wasn't that bad, but once I sat down to teach it, then it got a little harder. So I have medium to high for ease of play, ease of teaching, which the ease of learning the game is obviously mixed in with that. Now, I think the weight on BGG is like a 3.5, and that is the weight of the game. How hard is it to play the game, or how many choices you have, things like that. You have a decent amount of choices in here, but understanding how everything moves and functions takes a little bit more. So I'm going to say high end of medium, low end of high is the ease of teaching, ease of play. This is definitely not a beginner board game, an entry level, some people like to say entry level, non-board game friendly. Everyone has all these things. They want to have the gentlest way to put it. Beginner board games, right? It's definitely not that. You want to have people who've played board games. Arguably, everyone's always different, but there you go. So medium high for the ease of teaching, ease of play, ease of learning, and all that. Now replayability is high or really good. right? And the reason I say that is because you're fighting for control, influence, we'll just say influence of certain areas, right? These tokens come out and you blindly put them out. So you have different points. So there's different areas that might be highly contested, right? You also have your clan influence board that has these tokens that give you point values for first, second, and third person in that area. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And these, like I said, these tokens are interchangeable. They're also blind. So you blindly put these out for each clan. What else do you have that's different or that gives you a lot of replayability? You have lots of different champions that give you special abilities and allow you to do things, right? Lots of different ones. You have these cards over here, which tell you where the gnomes come out. So the gnomes don't always come out in one area. They can come out from anywhere. Changes, and what I'm saying here is this changes your strategy. Then you have your ancestry over here. Maybe you could see it right there. But you have a stack. See this stack of cards that you have? There's a stack of them that you go through, or you could possibly get with different combinations. And there's drafting involved. So like I said, you could see the how to play, but you get so many cards, you pick one, pass it to the left, pick one, right? So that changes how the game plays. It's not that you sit down and you have... in some games you have, let's say, Iroko the Great, and they play this way. And so once you play that, that's the way you play. It's going to change, constantly change, which gives you replayability. Now, production value. This is the Kickstarter version of it, which gives you the fancy little miniatures instead of meeples and just wooden discs and stuff like that. You have the fancy wooden barrels. These are different. They're just different shape. Instead of discs, you have little, let's see if I can show it or if you guys can see it. They're small because they're meant to set in a circular disc. You have these little handprints, right? It has the special box. There's metallics on these. You have like this special starting hammer instead of the cardboard one, which I have in the box right here, right? There are some extras. This in the standard game is like a disc. But what I will say for production, this production is amazing. The cards, linen finish, right? What I put on here, really good. Trying to keep with certain lingo. Really good. The cards are linen finished. The cardboard, it's not the thinnest, it's not the thickest. I got a cat that wants to join in once again. Not the thinnest, not the thickest, right? But it's good. Then we also have the board that you play with here. Please don't hit the mic. The board is a nice, decent board. It flips over depending on how many players. That changes replayability. You playing with 2 to 3. What is this side? Yeah, 2 to 3. Are you playing with 4 to 5? Changes the replayability. Now, the base game or the retail version of the game I have seen, and it, instead of having some of these miniatures, I kind of got to get her out of my lap. She's distracting me. Instead of having these miniatures, there is wooden discs. The gnomes are cardboard tokens because there's different values. Let's see if I can grab different values. Sorry. See if I can grab different values of gnomes here as she grabs everything. Yep, there's a 3, right? There's different values. So those would be tokens. But still, the production value is still high. It's high for the retail, and it's obviously even higher for this, which you pay more for this. So there you go. Now, the value versus cost. Now, let's get into it really quick. The retail version is $60. A lot of online stores, you can get it for... sorry, she keeps trying to jump up and I can see out of the corner of my eyes. At a lot of retail stores, and especially online stores, you can get it for less than the $60, right? But at $60, is it worth it? This goes to, if you're one of my followers or one of the channel's followers, people who've watched multiple videos, or watched the last one, I was talking about the value. I tend to be a little more cheap. People always say frugal because I think it through, but then you could see behind me, I'm kind of all in for this board game thing, and also have a comic book problem too. All right, so she's demanding attention right now. Let's see if we can get her to lay down. But so $60 for this game is fair value, right? It's good. It's a good value. It's fair. I would say fair. I don't want to say low. It's a fair value for what you're getting in this game. For the replayability, for the production value, even for the retail one, it's fair, right? Now, you can still find the Kickstarter. When I was looking at prices, there is still definitely the Kickstarter easy to find. The Kickstarter is around $100. You can get for around $100. I think I paid 75, maybe. I'm not really sure. But you can get that too. Now, is it worth it? It's fair. I would argue even for the Kickstarter with the extra pieces, what I paid, which I don't remember, which was probably under somewhere between $85 and $100, is what I see them going for now. I probably paid somewhere under there, but add shipping, blah, blah, blah. So maybe somewhere right there. But I still think it's fair because it's such a good game. I want to get back in and play it. I think the original people that I played the game with, it was a little intimidating. I had just learned the game. I was just trying to teach it to them. But I have already started thinking of other people that I want to try to get to play this game. Now, with that said, going into it, would I play this again? Yes, obviously. That's what I said. It's games that I buy. Would I play it again? Yes. Would I ask to play it again? Yes. Like I just said too, I'm thinking about people that I can get to play. She doesn't understand games very well. We don't know why, but she doesn't. So I would play it again. I would definitely ask to play it again. One of the things that I can see, or complaints from friends that I got when playing, is we had a friend who ran the track. They were controlling the gnome. They were causing the gnomes to flood in. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now. Invade. They're causing the gnomes to start invading or start jumping into the board. They're controlling it. So they're running ahead on the point track. But what made them very frustrated was that at the end, the other players at the board, because they were doing other things, they were doing clan stuff and they were taking area majority so they can control the different, they're not mead houses, but the different gathering houses. We'll just say that for now. The points, we were able to surpass that player, and they didn't like it. They felt like they tried really hard to control one thing to get their points way ahead, and they did. But this is a game where there's lots of ways to win. There's lots of ways to get points. You win really by having the most, not influence, the most respect. Words are failing me. Probably shouldn't have a cat in my lap. The most respect, the most notoriety. That's what I was looking for. The most notoriety. That's how you win. But you could do that by keeping the gnomes from invading. You can do that by helping, by being in areas, either helping by clearing out gnomes and things like that. So they weren't a big fan of, they got to run ahead. They felt like they had this huge lead. No one's ever going to catch them. And in the end, they lost. They didn't lose by a lot, but they lost. And they weren't a big fan of that. And I found with this friend, they don't like the multiple angles of winning. They want a one single way, and they just push to be the best at that. So take that as you will. But that is my review, or our review, even with Little Cartoon here, our review of Fall of the Mountain King by Burnt Island Games. It's a 1 to 5 player for ages 14 plus, and 30 minutes, once you know the game, per player. I'm Steven with Cardboard Coalition. If you followed through the video this long, thanks for watching. Go ahead, we're trying to grow the channel. See, I'm really bad at this, so please like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification. Especially subscribe. It'd be nice to get the subscribers way up. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Did you pop your head up to say bye? You gonna tell them bye? Yeah. See you later, everybody. All right, come on. Come on, troublemaker. Yeah.